I love it because he spoke right over the top of the politicos, right to the cameras, right to the American people. Our record-breaking economy included women, African Americans, and individuals with disabilities are employed at the best records they've ever had. You know, these are the people that Democrats are always talking about. We want to serve them, you know, minorities and underserved and disability. But today, these folks are at or near the best records for employment that have ever been on the books. He was talking about the strength of the stock market and how pensions and retirement funds, you know, things that folks, union folks, working class folks, they need those retirement funds to grow, right? They're up for millions of Americans. He was talking about employers and how they have to raise wages right now to keep their employees. That empowers employees and workers. They get to choose where they want to work so that they can raise their families and not rely on government programs. And throughout that entire speech, Democrats couldn't even applaud the prosperity that we're seeing in America. I mean, it was actually, and I'm making jokes about some of those things, but that was heartbreaking for me. Because it's not, I mean, how can you not applaud when you see the least of these and the most vulnerable getting ahead? That's what I believe. Those are the core values of the Republican Party, that the free markets aren't, it's not for one class, it's for everybody. And that's what I believe in it. You know, their behavior that night, sitting on their hands, scowling, booing, and hissing. There was hissing. These were grown adults. While the president was talking about Americans having money in their paychecks, you know, tearing up his speech, that to me demonstrates a real choice in this election. And I'm not someone who throws around this biggest election in our lifetimes. I don't throw that around easily. However, the contrast in our choices, I don't think could be more stark. You know, you look at the Democrat-controlled House, which is, I hope, a temporary condition. Where have their priorities been? It's been difficult for me to remember exactly what it was that they said they were coming in to do prior to launching the 4-month-long impeachment fiasco. And I don't know how it works for some of those Democrats, but I will tell you that you all sent me to DC to do things, to produce results for you back home. And I feel like what has turned, I mean, it started as this little, and then it grew, and then it was just fiasco, and then it's just gone and gone and gone. And in the meantime, they haven't been producing solutions on the things that people care about, whether it's prescription drugs, whether it's more economic prosperity, whether it's growing jobs. I mean, it's really, all of that's fallen by the wayside. And then there's the Democratic field for president. Now, I don't know how, but this presidential field that they got makes Jay Inslee look like a fiscally conservative moderate. That's remarkable. And you know, I'm making some of those things the butt of those jokes, but actually, one of them could become the most powerful leader in the free world if we don't step up and elect Republicans in November. You know, for years, the mainstream media mocked us when we warned that the Democrat Party was veering towards socialism. I will take a straight, you know, just a God-fearing, American, patriotic Democrat any day of the week and twice on Sunday. What we're seeing is a push towards socialism, and its core is taking over. And now a self-proclaimed socialist Democrat is the front runner on their side for president. Days ago, Bernie Sanders drew, it's like 17,000 people just less than 50 miles north of my district, north of us. And this is a person the AOC and the socialists on the Seattle City Council are endorsing and emulating. So how does my race in the Washington's 3rd Congressional District play into this madness? Well, when my opponent, my Democrat opponent, was asked if she'd support Bernie Sanders' $32 trillion government takeover our healthcare system, her response was, absolutely. That's not my vision for our region or for this country. You should get to choose your health plan, your doctor, not the government. And we have some fabulous Republicans at the top of the ticket on down. I mean, we've heard from some tonight, and this seat is not a Democrat seat that we can't take over, and Jim has proven that. We're making those inroads. But we have to work hard to elect them. I don't like to be intrusive. Republicans don't like people telling us what to do with our families, or our lands, or our guns, or our money. But I ask you to support us with your time and your treasure, because this is a significant election. We're experiencing one of the most prosperous times in our nation's history, believe it or not, despite what the negative headlines tell you. It's my hope that we've only just begun. You're here because you believe in our party, the Republican Party, and it's the one that supports policies and people who promote opportunity and freedom and entrepreneurial spirit, and that's what's going to fuel the prosperity in our country. I'm with you in this. Please, let's join together and do what it takes to keep our nation the land of opportunity for all of us. And it's a privilege to be with you tonight. Thank you.